channel Chemistry and Biology Concepts, HSTR 2022-23, about the class chapter Ecology and Ecosystem. In this class, we will discuss about the detailed study about the components of ecosystem, biomes, pyramids, food chain and food web. So, coming to the introduction part of the ecosystem. Before learning this ecosystem, we have to know the definition of ecology. The branch of biology which deals with the study of ecosystem, we call it as ecology. Nothing but the detailed study about the environment, we call it as ecology, and ecosystem means the interaction between the living and the non-living constituent of the environment, we call it as ecosystem. So this is about the ecology and the ecosystems. So coming to the next very important concept, that is about the degradation. It is classified into two types: biodegradable substance and the non-biodegradable substance. In the nature there is two types of a substance that can be degraded. So this we call it as a degradation. Biodegradable substance and non-biodegradable substances. That means biodegradable, that means the name itself suggesting that bio means living forms. So degradation occur with the help of a living organism, that is microorganisms. These kind of a degradation we call it as biodegradation. Example: paper, cloth, agricultural waste, home waste. So those are the substance which can be degraded by the microorganism, we call it as biodegradable substances. Non-biodegradable substances means the substances which are not degraded into harmless or simple forms by the action of the microorganisms. These we call it as a non-biodegradable substances. Example for non-biodegradable substance is DDT, plastic. DDT full form means dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. So coming to the difference between biodegradable and non-biodegradable substance, that you have to learn properly. Here first I will discuss about the biodegradable waste. The waste are broken down naturally by the action of the microorganisms. And second thing is biodegradation forms harmless and non-poisonous products. They are release raw materials back to the nature. Again it will release the raw materials that will be given back to the nature. The polluted the environment only when they are produced in a quantity beyond the capacity of the environment to degrade them. So recycling is possible both naturally as well as through human efforts. This is about the biodegradable waste. When compared to the biodegradable, non-biodegradable waste is it is not broken by the action of the microorganism, first thing, and no such action is possible here in the non-biodegradable waste. They do not release raw materials, otherwise instead of that it will start releasing the harmful gases and pollute the environment. Then non-biodegradable waste pollute the environment even in a small quantity. So as I said, these non-biodegradable substances increases the pollution. Recycling is possible only through the human efforts. So coming to the next concept, that is the types of ecosystem. Types. There are so many types in this ecosystem. In that main very important type is two types: natural ecosystem and the artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem means the natural existing ecosystem without any human effort is called as natural. It is occurring in the nature naturally. That is terrestrial ecosystem, in that desert, grassland, forest, and aquatic ecosystem, nothing but so many aquatic forms you are going to get, like ponds, lakes, estuaries and the marine. You have learnt about this estuaries, that is nothing but the mixing up of salt water and the fresh water together, we call it as that is a estuary, the meeting point of the two kind of a water. So this is about the natural ecosystem, terrestrial and aquatic type. And coming to the artificial ecosystem, here artificial means artificial or man-made. With the help of a man, this ecosystem will going to be created. So this is about artificial ecosystem. Example for that is agricultural land, botanical garden, parks, that I have showed here in the picture. You can identify the difference between the artificial and the natural ecosystem. So these are the types of ecosystem. When compared to the types, now we are going to learn about the components of ecosystem. So coming to the components of ecosystem, there are mainly two main components you are going to get in the ecosystem, that is abiotic component and the biotic component. First we will discuss about the abiotic components. It is includes non-living components of the environment like water, light, air and temperature. These are the non-living component of the environment. We call it as abiotic components. So coming to the biotic component, it includes all the living organisms present in the ecosystem. Example, plants, animals and microorganisms. So this is about the biotic components. So these biotic components are again classified into three types. In that first one, producers. That is, these are the autotrophs. Autotrophs means which prepare their own food and they absorb radiant energy from the sun and produces organic compounds. These are the source of nutrition for the rest of the ecosystem, that is consumer and the decomposers. Here in the picture I have showed here. So how the producers depends on the sun for preparing their own food. So coming to the next concept, that is another one component of a ecosystem, that is consumer. Consumers means they are the heterotroph dependent on the producers. These consumers are dependent on the producers for their nutrition requirement, and consumers food prepared by producers. That is, example for these consumers are animals, humans. The consumers again classified into three types: primary consumer, secondary consumer and the tertiary consumers. Primary consumers means these are the consumers which depends primarily on the producers. Secondary consumers depends on primary consumers and tertiary consumers depends on the secondary consumers. Another sub three types of these consumers are herbivore, carnivore and omnivores. Herbivores are depends on the producers for plant products for the food, and carnivores means these depends on the animals for food, and omnivores are depends on the producers, that is plants as well as the animals for food. Coming to the third biotic component, that is decomposers. These are the microorganisms which feeds on decaying and dead organic matter. That is nothing but these decomposers are the microorganisms which decomposes dead bodies of plants, animals present in the soil and helps in the cleaning the environment by removing the waste product. Hence they are called as a bioscavengers. So microorganisms are the bioscavengers. This one is they are going to ask in HSTR, very important. You have to remember this one. Microorganisms are bioscavengers. So
the food chain is a unidirectional flow of energy from organism to another organism in the form of food. So that means it is a food chain means there is a unidirectional, single directional flow of energy from one organism to another organisms in the form of food. Here you can observe the organisms I have given here. This is the grazing food chain. Example I have given: grass, this is in the trophic level first, and rabbit, this is in the trophic level 2, snake trophic level 3, hawk trophic level 4. Here this is the one organism, and from here to here another organism. Unidirectional flow of energy will going to observe here. It helps in the transfer of energy from one trophic level to another trophic level. Here I have already said these are the trophic levels. From one trophic level to another trophic level, it will going to transfer the energy. The transfer of food or energy takes place through various steps or levels. These we call it as a food chain, known as trophic levels. Types of food chain. There are mainly two types of food chains, that is terrestrial food chain and aquatic food chain. There I have given one example for each. Grass, that will grass. These grass are eaten by insects, and insects were eaten by snake, and snake will going to eat a hawk. So this is the terrestrial food chain. Here also I have given the pictorial example. Here you can observe this is the aquatic food chain and this one is the terrestrial food chain. Here bunch grass, that is this transfers energy to the grasshopper. When it will grasshopper will going to eat the bunch of grass. Then spotted frog. So these spotted frog will eat grasshopper, and the 10% of energy will going to transfer to this spotted frog. And whatever the energy the spotted frog will going to get, this one is eaten by this red-tailed hawk, and it will get 10% of energy from this organism to this. So this is third trophic level to fourth one. So this is, we call it as a unidirectional flow of energy. Here also in the aquatica, same way it will going to come phytoplanktons, zooplanktons, crab and sea water. So first trophic level we call it as a primary producers, because it will going to produce the food with their own, and these primary producers will consumed primarily by the primary consumer, and secondarily by the secondary consumer, and tertiarily by the tertiary consumer, and like this goes on, and finally comes the decomposers, which will decompose all these organisms, and again it will transfer all those energy to the earth only. This is in a cyclic manner. So this is about the types of food chain. So coming to the another one, similar concept and very important concept of food chain is, next one is concept of food web. Here interconnecting food chains of an ecosystem is called as a food web. Nothing but same as it is in the food chain, this grass and deer, lion, here I have given, this is the example for food chain. But in food web what happens, here you can observe same as it is, but each organism is interconnected here. See here, grasses are eaten by rat also, and grasshopper also, and even the grasshopper, frog also, bird also, like this. One organisms to another organisms, it is interconnected. So this is a schematic representation of terrestrial and aquatic food web. In the previous we have learnt about food chain, now it is food web. It will kill the organisms in one trophic level. The lower trophic level will grow more in the number, and the higher trophic level will not survive. Hence the flow of energy in one trophic level to another trophic level will not take place. This will adversely affect the ecosystem. That is, here if this organism is eaten by all these three, this trophic level, this is comes under primary consumer, and these primary consumers are going to be extinct. These numbers will going to be increase, and these numbers will going to increase, and this will decrease. There is no flow of energy. This will affect adversely. So this is about the web. So 10% law of energy transfer, as usual I said previously. Here in one trophic level, if 10 joules of energy is there, means in the 10 joules, 10%, only 10% will going to transfer from grass to deer. That is from trophic 1 to trophic level 2. That means 10 joules to 1 joule of energy. If deer have got 1 joule of energy, means in the next trophic level, the lion will get 0.1 joules of energy. This 10% energy is going to transfer from one trophic level to another. That's why it is called as 10% law of energy transfer. According to this law, only 10% of the energy entering a particular level is stored, and remaining is lost during the transfer. So this is about the concept of food web. So most important of food chain and food webs, that is nothing but it helps in the transfer of energy from one trophic level to another trophic level. Both food chain and food web, both I have given here. So it also provides the information about biotic components of a ecosystem. Biotic means living components of the ecosystem. It helps to analyze the interaction and relationship between the organisms of an ecosystem, and it also helps to understand the movement of toxic substances and the problems associated with the biological magnification effect. So greenhouse gases means greenhouse gases are the gases that absorbs infrared radiation, IR radiations, and create a greenhouse effect. For example, carbon monoxide and chlorofluorocarbons. So these are the two greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide and chlorofluorocarbon. These gases will affect the earth surface and forms a greenhouse effect. See here, the carbon dioxide, methane, CFC, ozone, this is artificially occurring greenhouse gases. What happens in naturally means here the sunlight will be there, present, that sunlight falls on the earth surface. Some of them are absorbed by the earth surface, and some of them are revert back. When this process occur naturally, then only the natural greenhouse effect is very useful for the organisms that lives in the earth. What happens if it is become artificial? That we as a greenhouse effect. So this is the main causes how the greenhouse effect will going to be occur. First one is the burning of the fossil fuel. Fossil fuels are the important part of our lives. They are widely used in the transportation and to produce electricity. Burning of fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide with the increase in the population. The utilization of the fossil fuels has increased. This has led to an increase in the release of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, mainly the carbon dioxide. And these chlorofluorocarbons, where it will be occur means in the refrigerations. That's why now the government has led some rules to avoid those kind of a release of greenhouse gases. So coming to the next one, that is deforestation. Because of the cutting down of plants and trees, the carbon dioxide will going to be increased excessively, and these plants will not absorb the carbon dioxide because they are going to cut the plants and trees. Due to the cutting of trees, there is a considerable increase in the greenhouse gases, which increase the earth's temperature. So as usual I said before. So coming to the another one is farming. Nitrous oxide used in the fertilizers is one of the contributor to the greenhouse effect in the atmosphere. Even though industrial waste and landfills also increases the greenhouse gases, the industries and factories produce harmful gases which are released into the atmosphere. Landfill also releases the carbon dioxide and methane that adds the greenhouse gases. Because of all these, the greenhouse effect will going to be increased day by day. The greenhouse effect keeps the earth temperature warmer than it would be otherwise. That means before I said no, the greenhouse effect will occur naturally in the nature. If it is exceeds the limits, then we call it will going to cause a effect, some kind of a consequence we have to face. That they are telling here, supporting the life on the earth. As a result, the greenhouse effect in the atmosphere is boosted, and that means increased, and it alters our planet's climate, leading to the shift in the snow and rainfall patterns, a rise in the average temperature, and more extreme climate events such as heat waves and floods. Coming to the controlling measures of the greenhouse effect. Some measures to control greenhouse effects are: reduce the consumption of fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum. So we have to consume fossil fuels we are using, that we have to reduce. Fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and depend more on non-conventional sources of energy. Those are the energies we have to use, which is non-conventional energies we have to use to control the effect of the greenhouse gas. And restriction of emission of CFC nothing but chlorofluorocarbons from machines and factories. And even afforestation we have to do. Afforestation means planting of plants and trees. So that will control the greenhouse effects, because the plants will absorb the carbon dioxide, excess carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere, and releases oxygen for the humans. So more and more we have to grow the plants. And coming to the next, another one important concept, global warming. It is the phenomenon of a gradual increase in the average temperature of the earth atmosphere. As usual, the greenhouse effect, what happens, the earth temperature will going to be increases because of the greenhouse gases. That will in the extreme condition leads to global warming by gradually increasing the temperature of the earth atmosphere. The main causes for these environmental issue is the increased volume of greenhouse gases, as usual I said, such as carbon dioxide and methane released by the burning of fossil fuels, emissions from the vehicles, industries, and other human activities. So this is about the global warming. Controlling measures of the global warming. So many controlling measures are there. Some of them I have listed below. So change a light, that means replacing one regular light bulb with a compact fluorescent light bulb will save 150 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. That when you decrease the consumption of these carbon dioxide or release of these carbon dioxide will control the global warming, that is nothing but by reducing the earth temperature because of reducing carbon dioxide. Drive less, nothing but walk, bike, carpool or take mass transport for the more often. You will save 1 pound of a carbon dioxide for every mile you don't drive. So if in a family 5 members are there means 5 members each and everyone having a particular bike and car means the pollution will going to be increase because of the release of carbon dioxide from those vehicles. If we use one bus or public transport, that will consume reduce the use of a carbon dioxide. So that's what they are telling here. Recycle more, that is nothing but you can save 2400 pounds of carbon dioxide per year by recycling just half of your household waste. Household waste you have to recycle. And check your tires. Keeping your tires inflated properly can improve your gas mileage by more than 3%. So you have to check it out. This is the very important thing. Every gallon of a gasoline saved keeps 20 pounds of a carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. So it is very important to check your tires also. And use less hot water. It takes a lot of energy to heat water. Use less hot water by taking shorter and cooler showers and washing your clothes in a cold or warm instead of hot water. More than 5000 pounds of a carbon dioxide will going to be saved because of this. And avoid products with a lots of packaging. You can save 1200 pounds of a carbon dioxide if you reduce your garbage by 10%. So these are all the some very important required controlling measures I have mentioned here. So coming to the next concept, depletion of ozone layer. So depletion of ozone layer means ozone protects the earth from harmful ultraviolet rays, nothing but UV rays from the sun. It is found in the upper region of the stratosphere. So ozone layer where it will be occur in the upper region of the stratosphere. The depletion of the ozone layer results in the entry of the harmful UV rays to the earth surface that might lead to skin cancer and also changes in the climate drastically. The major causes of this phenomenon is the accumulation of natural greenhouse gases including chlorofluorocarbon, that is CFC, carbon dioxide, methane, etc. So coming to the effects of ozone layer depletion. It causes UV rays to reach the earth and it causes harms to the living organism. It can so UV rays it will going to reach the earth atmosphere and it will causes some harm to the living organisms. It can lead to skin cancer in the humans. It can lead to cataracts in the humans, and it can lead to damage to our immune system by lowering the body's resistance to diseases. It leads to many diseases in animals, so not only in the humans, animals and also to the plants also it will going to lead so many diseases. The ultraviolet rays from the sun will damage the DNA and lead to some kind of a mutation. These are all the main effects of the ozone layer depletion. So these are all the some of the controlling measures of a ozone layer depletion. So coming to the last concept, that is acid rain. Here acid rain refers to the presence of acid in the atmosphere and deposition of acid on the earth's surface. This is what we call it as acid rain. Results how it will going to be occur means results when sulfur dioxide SO2 and nitrogen oxide NO2 or NO2 or NO3, so nitrate and nitrites, this is what we call it as NOx, are emitted into the atmosphere and transported by wind and air currents. So here the sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide reacts with water, oxygen and other chemicals to form sulfuric acid and nitric acid. These are then mixes with the water and other materials before falling into the ground. Nothing but the rain, whatever the rain will comes, no, that rain water will going to mixes with these nitric acid and sulfuric acid and forms a acid rain. Here is the chemical formula: calcium carbonate reacts with the H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, forms a calcium sulfate along with that water plus carbon dioxide. So this is the chemical formula which causes a acid rain. So effects of the acid rain. Acid rain is very harmful to agriculture, plants and animals. It washes away all nutrients which are required for the growth and survival of the plants. Acid rain affects agriculture by the way it alters the composition of the soil. So this acid rain will going to alter the composition of the soil also. It causes respiratory issues in animals and humans. In humans and animals also it will cause us respiratory issues. When acid rain falls down, the flows into the river and ponds, it affects the aquatic ecosystem, alters the chemical composition of water to form which actually harmful to the aquatic ecosystem survival and cause water pollution also. So acid rain also causes corrosion of water pipes, which further result in leaching of heavy metals such as iron, lead, copper into drinking water. So it damages the building and monuments made up of stone and metals. Taj Mahal is made of marble, calcium carbonate, which reacts with sulfuric acid of the acid rain, causing pitting, decoloration and lusterless. Here this one is the first picture of Taj Mahal, and after the continuous acid rain falling on this marble, it damages the building monuments like Taj Mahal. This how become like this nowadays, becoming yellowish, and lustrous means shining property of that marble is going to be reduced here. So this is about the effects of the acid rain. This is about greenhouse effect, global warming, acid rain and ozone layer depletion. I hope you guys understood the concept very well. Please do like, comment and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which will helps me to make more and more videos about HSTR exams. So please do subscribe. Thanks for watching.